to wear some of this.
Please
over
God,
the
we'll
next
have some
couple
good
of
weather.
months.
Yes.
And we're starting off with Sarah, and this is turquoise.
We are. Sarah's here this morning with a beautiful white and turquoise bikini. With a little matching sarong. This bikini comes in at €25, just between 25 and 30 euros. Comes in size 10 to 16, and it'll suit any bust size really, from an A to a C cup, which is great. And it's a moulded cup as well, so it gives a nice shape.
There's underwire in it, is there, Trina?
It's underwired and moulded.
So it gives you more support.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're getting into the water polo or whatever
Exactly.
in the pool. And the little sarong that Sarah is wearing, they're great for hiding all the bumpy bits.
They're fantastic. If you want to get up and walk around to go for a drink or anything like that, you feel a little bit more comfortable, just to hide your bum and your thighs.
And then beachwear has become much more accessorised also as well now, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Everybody dresses up with jewellery, with bags, with everything nowadays. Hats, the whole lot.
Because it is a thing where you don't go to the beach, you go to lunch then throughout the day, and then maybe back to the beach.
Where do you go on your holidays?
All the best
They have to have a glass of wine during the day now, sitting having nice lunch.
Katie's our exotic lady, and she's wearing an all-in-one piece.
She is. She's wearing a swimsuit by a company called Fantasy. Now, Fantasy are great. They do all cup sizes from B to a G cup. So no matter what bust size you are, you can have a really flattering swimsuit on you. It's a hidden underwire, so it's supported and everything, but it's not obvious.
And the sarong there is great because it actually picks up
there's a lady on the front
from the actual swimsuit.
Exactly.
So it looks like it is an all-in-one. It's perfectly done.
Absolutely. Brilliant for Saint-Tropez or any of these places that you want to be really dressy. And as I said, if you're bigger busted, you don't look big busted in this because it's very flattering. They're very into their corsetry wear, so people would know Fantasy brands of their underwear. So they bring that through their swimwear as well.
Presumably then, those who'd opt for the all-in-one, Trina, if you're a little conscious of your stomach maybe or something like that.
Yeah, well, what they do as well is, apart from just being a nice young make of swimwear, they do some with paneling in the front as well. So if you're a little bit conscious of your tummy, you can have the glamour and also a little bit of support in your tummy, and nobody knows. It's all hidden.
The white swimwear, Trina, would it be see-through when you jump into the pool?
No, not anymore. I think I think people used to think that, but not anymore. They're all lined and they're all tested and tried before they're put into production. So.
Okay, Joyce is next, and Juicy Fruits.
Doesn't she look fantastic in this? This beautiful bikini by Roche, German make. Again, all the beautiful subtle colours, oranges and pinks. Little two-piece, also available in one piece, and it also comes in a strapless bikini as well. So if you don't want little strap marks, you can take off the straps. This is a little bit more expensive, but then I suppose you're paying for the make and the fabrics that they use and the designers that go into this. So it's 103 for the bikini, and unfortunately it's the same price for the wrap as well. So
103 for the wrap?
103 for the wrap. Yeah.
Quite pricey.
Now the only thing is you can match it up with other swimsuits and bikinis as well because of all the colours that are in it. You could maybe buy a couple of cheaper swimwear pieces and just use your wrap.
And those brighter colours, Trina, they really suit darker skins like Joyce's, the oranges and the pinks and yellows.
They do. And I suppose, especially with Irish skin, I suppose we're a little bit paler, but later on, maybe in your second week, you could afford to put on...
When you're getting that bit of colour.
When you get the
colour. Sneaky thing everyone does, brings the swimsuit for week one and then the bright one for week two.
Exactly, yeah, or the white for the second week.
Now Sarah's back with us. Fig Leaf.
Sarah's back with Fig Leaf. This is a costume from Rasherelle.
That's lovely.
It's lovely. I love the colours in this. I think it's great. And even with the Irish paler skin, I think we can still wear it because it's not all browns. It's taupes and whites and blacks and browns. This is from a company called Rasherelle, as I said, and they're part of the Leisure group, so most people would know Leisure bras. So again, this has a hidden wire inside, so it's going to give you the support underneath without being too obvious. And they go from a B to a D cup, actually, which is great. And if say you're a double D, you can fit into Ds in some of their swimwear as well.
It is 116 for the swimsuit and the sarong is 67. But I'd have to say it actually looks pricey, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It looks sort of like, oh, you've spent a few bob on that.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
The legs this year, the higher the leg at the side, Trina, makes your leg look longer.
They do tend to. Yes, they do tend to. Now, thankfully, they're not too high this year. I think last season they were a little bit higher. Got a little bit in between this year, but they're still quite flattering. If you've heavy legs or shorter legs, it is advisable just to go a little bit more high cut.
You have to get swimwear right if you're conscious about any bits of it.
And some people say, but I'm only going on 2 weeks holidays, but they forget for those 2 weeks you are there
10 hours a day?
Yes, 10 hours a day.
Majority of the
Very
day
little.
in a swimsuit.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
Katie's back now. Beautiful colour, this one, Tria.
Katie's
Blue
got the-
Lagoon.
Isn't this lovely? It's turquoise swimsuit from Triumph. This is ideal for the older lady that's a little bit conscious of her figure. It's all ruched at the side, so it's very flattering. And it goes from a size 36B to a 44D cup. So it's very good for the larger sizes, and it's a lovely, lovely ruched effect on the side. And I've teamed it up with this little kind of a robe that you can use at home after the shower, or you can take away with you. It folds up quite neatly into your suitcase.
Look at the colour, Katie.
I can't. Is that real, Katie?
Well, I tell you.
Out of the box.
We
You've
faked it a
done
little
that
bit.
very well.
No streaks.
No, very natural.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, our
And a
final
little
look.
bag.
Katie should be giving classes on how to put on fake tan.
Yes, there's some very dodgy ones out there. Joyce has our final look this morning, and this
has.
is Jungle Fever.
Jungle Fever. This is a great bikini. Again, Alan, you like the price of this. $25.50 for the bikini.
God, that's fantastic.
Brilliant value. Yeah, really, really good. And a lovely little matching wrap with little butterfly detail. Again, the wraps you can mix with other swimwear. But I think this colour is lovely. It also comes in a lemon and a blue as well. For $25.50, you know, it's
fantastic.
It's very good value.
Trina, it's a good idea at the end of the day to rinse out the swimming togs. Don't just leave it there with the chlorine out to dry in the
Definitely,
balcony.
no. Whether it's the sea or the swimming pool, you need to rinse out, even with a little bit of soap or something to get rid of it.
Perfect. So all available in lace and braid?
Lace and braid,
Thank
yes.
you very much, Trina, for
Thank
joining
you.
us this morning.
Saturday, but I think the biggest disappointment with Eurovision is the day that they dropped the orchestra and they dropped the bands and the live music. And because up to that point, you know, countries, when they submitted a song, and they also had to put a lot of work into the orchestration, finding good conductors, good arrangers, good scorers, good musicians. And so there was that weight of music and body of people behind each song and each performer. Now it's more like a karaoke that they don't have that to sit on.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of been a big disappointment in the competition.
Now, when you're sort of saying, like, your music is selling, like, outside of Eurovision in Asia and places like that, you're selling in the millions.
Yes.
I mean, you must be worth a fortune, Mrs.
Did you just see that band travelling? You know, those are all, you know,
You're
hefty.
saying now that particular band are together now about 10
and
years.
it takes a lot to feed those Norwegian boys. So, I mean, our travelling expenses are huge. You know, I mean, there's 13 or 14 of us travelling, and when we're doing, and unfortunately, we're doing, most of our trips are very long distance flights, so it all adds up, and trucking the gear and everything we do. So, you know, touring sort of puts a dip into the pot, but I mean, we're doing well, and I'm just so grateful that we've been able to continue on and to keep performing the way we're doing and to be accepted by so many audiences.
And do you ever get a stage where you say, oh, I don't want to see another airport, I don't want to see another hotel room? I was just sort of saying, where are you living at the moment? And you sort of said, on the bus, on the plane.
I know, I'm leaving for Norway now, and I just got back a few days ago from Australia. But I'm kind of, I think I'm a gypsy at heart. If I'm here too long, if I'm here even 3 or 4 weeks, I get this feeling I've got to go again. I mean, the worst thing about traveling, since 9/11, it has changed.
Oh, yeah,
and for somebody like me that's
yeah.
traveling for my life, I mean, the extra security, it's the extra
hours
in the airport. And
airport,
it's such a pain. And when we arrive with a truck full of gear and you just see the faces of people and the extra security, and, you know, we all understand that it's necessary now, but it is extremely stressful. But saying that, I mean, to hear people talk to us after the different shows that we do and in so many different countries, I think it's, I mean, I'm very grateful
Well, when
for
you're
the
playing
life I
somewhere
have.
like the Opera House in Sydney and stuff like that, so that, I mean, makes up for it.
It was a
doesn't it?
feeling of landed, you know. It was like, wow, I'm here. I actually couldn't look at the Opera House before I went in. It's really funny. I was like this, and you know, drive me in. You drive into the back area, sort of underneath it. And I mean, because I was too scared. It was almost overwhelming. But it was after the performance when I came out and I looked
You
and I
just
just
looked
thought,
and went, well, we were there.
You know, come from Nace and now just performing in the Opera House. It was a
And
fantastic feeling.
coming from Nace with huge fans, including Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
And she chose one of your songs for her wedding.
It was amazing for us, and she wrote to us personally about it. And it's a song called Heartstrings that we recorded in our first album, and then she made a version called I Dreamed of You, and she's used it on 4 subsequent albums. But I mean, for us, the most extraordinary thing that's happened in the last couple of years is our song You Raise Me Up, which was on our last album, and that's now been recorded 70 times. and Josh Groban sang it for the Columbus NASA, commemoration. So that's been amazing, and it's the most sold music now.
Now, we have to talk about, before we finish, your new album.
Yes.
Which is even going to make you more money. As if you need any.
Well,
no, every little helps. They're very expensive touring around.
It's very expensive.
Speaking of touring, are we going to see you in Ireland?
I hope that we can do something here maybe before the year is out. It's something we really want to do. The last time we performed was 2 years ago, so we'd really love to come back and do something.
You should be doing something like in Cork or something as part of the culture capital.
Well, if we were invited, we would be there in a heartbeat.
Don't talk to us about Cork and all the things they've got wrong down there about the culture. I'll get into trouble for saying that. The album is called Earth Songs.
Yeah, and it's our fifth album.
It's your fifth album. And is it very much the same thing, or have you some kind of a departure?
I think there's a lot of departures in it. There's one enormous choral piece called Raise Your Voices. There's a song called Always There that we have Russell Watson singing with us. And we've recorded this all over the world, including in the middle of China. We worked with an amazing Chinese player. We worked in a Chinese studio run by the Chinese army with nobody with any English whatsoever. So that was very interesting. And we ended up mixing it in LA. So it's been, really around the world album for us, but it means a lot to us. In one sense, all our music is like chapters of the same book, and Secret Garden is the book, but there's a sense of progression. I mean, Rolf and I are developing all the time, and I guess we learning as well. So it's, it's a lot of new material.
Well, listen, it's lovely to meet you, and continued success with it, and say the album in all good record shops available now.
Yes.
Thank you very much for